They say every legend has a seed of truth, that somewhere beneath the layers of myth, of stories told around flickering campfires and in the hushed voices of elders, lies something real. Tonight, we go looking for that seed. For generations, native tribes spoke of massive beings who once walked these lands, men and women so tall they could see over the tallest trees, so strong they could tear a bison apart with their bare hands. Some were protectors, others predators. And according to the stories, their bones still lie hidden under the earth we walk on today. But is it all just myth? Or did giants truly roam North America? The unearthing, it begins in the late 1800s, in the rolling farmlands of the Ohio River Valley. A group of farmers was plowing a section of land when their tools struck something hard. At first, they thought it was just stone, but soon they uncovered a massive skull. And then another, and another. They called in the local sheriff, and the townspeople gathered to watch as an entire skeleton was brought into the daylight. It was unlike anything they'd ever seen, nearly 9 feet tall from head to toe. The skull was broad, the jaw immense, and in its mouth, 2 full rows of teeth. The local newspaper printed the discovery. People whispered about ancient beings, long before Columbus, long before even the tribes they knew. And yet, just weeks later, the bones were gone. No official records, no photographs, only stories from those who had seen it with their own eyes. Native American legends of the giants. If you ask the elders of many Native American nations, they'll tell you these skeletons aren't a mystery at all. Their people had been telling these stories for centuries. The Paiute tribe of Nevada spoke of the Si-Te-Cah, a race of red-haired giants who were fierce, cannibalistic hunters. According to legend, they terrorized the Paiute's ancestors until a great battle forced them into a cave, where the tribe set a fire at the entrance, trapping them forever. The cave's name? Lovelock. And years later, miners digging for bat guano there would make a chilling discovery. The Choctaw told of the Naholo, pale-skinned giants who towered over ordinary men and hunted with bows the size of tree branches. The Cherokee spoke of the moon-eyed people, shorter than the other giants, but pale and nocturnal, unable to see in daylight. And then there were the Adena mound builders, often said to be a race of tall, powerful beings who constructed the great earthworks across the Midwest. These aren't random tales. They come from different regions, different cultures, yet the descriptions overlap. Tall, strong, often hostile, and eventually gone. Early settler accounts and lost evidence in the 18s, newspapers from New York to San Francisco published bizarre reports, skeletons measuring 8, 9, even 12 feet in length. Skulls so large a human head could fit inside. Weapons too massive for an ordinary man to wield. One account from 1879 describes workers in Wisconsin uncovering a burial mound containing several skeletons, the largest measuring over 8 feet tall. Another tells of a farmer in Minnesota finding a massive jawbone, still with teeth intact, that dwarfed his own. And time after time, the Smithsonian Institution's name appears in the reports. Supposedly, their archaeologists collected these bones. Supposedly, they were taken for study. And yet, ask today, and officials will tell you no such skeletons exist in their archives. Skeptics say it's all tall tales. Believers suspect a cover-up. The great mound builders, long before Europeans arrived, much of North America was covered with mysterious earth mounds, some small, others massive and carefully shaped into animals, spirals, or geometric patterns. Many were burial mounds, and in the 19th century, amateur archaeologists and treasure seekers dug into them. Again and again, the stories repeat. Oversized skeletons, strange artifacts, and signs of advanced craftsmanship. Could these have been the work of giants? Or did the legends of their builders simply grow taller with each retelling? What we do know is that the Adna culture, often connected to giant legends, dates back thousands of years, and their burial sites are unlike anything else on the continent. Lovelock Cave. Let's go back to that Paiute story about the Si-Te-Cah. In 1911, miners excavating Lovelock Cave stumbled upon strange artifacts. Woven sandals over 15 inches long, oversized stone tools, and according to some accounts, skeletal remains far larger than normal. The official story says most of these finds were lost or discarded. But a few remain in small museums, proof that something unusual was there. Were they the bones of the Si-Te-Cah, or just tall individuals mistaken for giants? And here's where it gets unsettling. One miner claimed that when they first broke into a sealed section of the cave, there were still mummified remains with reddish hair. Just like the legend said. Theories: who were these giants? Some point to the Nephilim, the mysterious beings from biblical texts said to be the offspring of angels and humans. Others think they were simply a now extinct race of humans adapted for strength and size. Then there are more fringe theories, connections to Atlantis, alien hybrids, or even survivors of an ancient cataclysm. What's striking is that giant legends exist in nearly every culture on Earth, from the Jotnar of Norse mythology to the ogres of European folklore, to the giants of Africa and Polynesia. Could they all stem from the same ancient truth? Modern sightings, it sounds impossible, but there are whispers that giants might not be entirely gone. Hunters deep in the Alaskan wilderness report seeing massive human-like shapes moving in the tree line. Hikers in Appalachia stumble upon enormous footprints, too wide, too long for any known animal. And in one chilling case, a park ranger claimed he saw a man at least 10 feet tall standing on a ridge, watching him. He never went back. The last giant. I want to end with a story that still gives me chills. In the 1920s, a prospector in the Canadian wilderness claimed to have encountered a towering figure near a river. It stood upright, wearing animal hides, its face hidden by a tangle of hair. The prospector said the giant didn't move aggressively, it just stared at him silently for what felt like an eternity. Then it turned, stepped into the trees, and was gone. The man never told his story publicly until decades later, because he was sure no one would believe him. But when he finally did tell it, an elder from a local tribe nodded quietly and said, "That was the last one, the last of them who walks among us." So was it all just myth? An echo of ancient fears? Or are there still secrets buried in the soil of this land, waiting for someone brave or foolish enough to dig them up? Because sometimes the old stories are all that's left. And sometimes they're warnings.